Aries, welcome to your no contact love reading. We're going to get into the energy of this connection, your feelings, how you're showing up, and your person's feelings, how they're showing up in this connection. If this resonates, you can continue watching over on your extended reading. The link for that is in the description, top of the comments. All right. But for right now, let's get into this. So, Aries, the energy of this connection is resentment with the Eight of Swords. Okay. I'll tell you this. I don't really get resentment from you. Okay. I think I may be getting it more so from your person's end. Okay. So I'm getting that. It says resentment binds your soul and prevents you from moving forward. It reminds you to release unnecessary burdens and forgive yourself and others. Through forgiveness, you will experience inner liberation and peace, right? And you've got the Eight of Swords here. A number of you could be connecting with a Gemini, okay? I'm getting, or Aquarius, your person shows up with the star energy and the tiger. Okay, this person could also be born in the year of the tiger in the zodiac. I feel like this is more of your person's energy, and it's based off of what I'm seeing where you're at. But I think they are, how do I say this? Like, they are like watching you for a number of you. Like I see them watching you. All right. Even like low key, like stalking. Okay. It's not heavy stalking, maybe like I'm getting like social media. All right. I'm getting that. Okay. I think your person shows up with the tiger and the star. First off, I got like the star of the show. Okay. I got a little bit of the star of the show energy. Okay. Like they, how do I want to say this? It's a little bit of like a selfish type of vibe. All right. I'm not going to lie. Where they could be like heavily looking at things from their perspective, okay? What they want, what they desire, what their wish is about the connection, okay? So there's that. It's definitely giving, for some of you, it's definitely giving like maybe an energy of like shadowy Leo, okay? With that like big cat, and then the star is Aquarius, right? And so that's Leo's partner sign. But sometimes when a sign acts in its partner sign, it's in its shadow. Okay. So it's giving me like that shadowy Leo where they could be looking at things just very much from their view. Okay. I also get with the star that there is something they want here. They want something with you, all right? And that could be reunion. We will always come back to each other. But I think for a number of you, Aries, this person, they're the ones that kind of backed off or went distant or went cold. And I'm getting that because they also show up with dishonesty and secrets, okay? So they weren't fully, they weren't fully honest. Like if this resonates in a way where this person distanced themselves from you, went no contact with you, they weren't fully transparent about why, okay? For some of you, what I'm getting is that like they want to come back in, but they don't know how they're going to explain why they went cold, why they went no contact, why they stopped talking, okay? They're trying to figure out maybe how to explain that with the Eight of Swords, okay? This reminded me of one of the members, get a girl, right? Get a girl. She requested the Aries no contact. That's why I'm doing it, okay? But she mentioned in a reading before, she was like, you got real surgical with it. So it's like I'm looking at he's in this outfit, like they're thinking they got to get real surgical with, coming back in and figuring out how to explain why they went ghost, why they went no contact, okay? So I'm getting that energy. Yeah, because they weren't honest. Whoever this is, they weren't fully transparent about why, okay? Now, they do feel like you all are going to reunite, or maybe, that's what they're wanting, okay? But I think that, because what I'm getting with resentment, and I want to get into your energy. I don't get resentment from your side. I get resentment from their side. And I'm getting that resentment was a part of the reason why they went cold, why they stopped talking. They just weren't honest with you about it. They didn't tell you, hey, I don't like this. They weren't transparent about their feelings and their emotions. And whoever this is, so what I'm getting to with the star and the tiger, these are both energies of individuals that are very independent, okay? And they may even thrive on their own, okay? I'm getting that because Aquarius energy, the star energy, I'm getting like the Lone Star. I'm getting Lone Star State. This person could be in Texas. That's very specific for some of you. But even with tigers, if you in the wild, like a tigress, once she mates and has the children or the little baby tigers, she's on her own. Like she raises them on her own. So this could be someone very hyper independent, okay? And maybe for some of you, this person has a hard time letting people in because of how independent they are, okay? So I'm getting that. And Aries can traditionally be a very helpful sign, okay? You all are the leader, of the zodiac. And so if you all see an issue, 9 times out of 10, Aries is going to, take charge and be like, look, this is how we're going to fix it. And what I'm getting is, for some of you, this is a very specific storyline. This person, especially if they're an air sign, okay, I'm getting Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, there may have been resentment with that, where they're like, no, I'm somebody who fixes everything. I'm someone who knows what to do. Okay, very intelligent. All right. And so they're like, and maybe they somewhat felt like, I don't know, insulted. I'm getting there was a level of resentment there, and that is coming in very specifically. Okay. But again, they didn't tell you that. They weren't honest about that. And maybe from their perspective, they're like, how am I supposed to be honest with Aries about that? Okay. Some of you were trying to fix something. You're trying to help this person, because I'll tell you, one of your cards, how you're showing up, is the Knight of Swords. So some of you may have Gemini in your chart. Okay. You could be even like Gemini Sun, and you may have other Aries placements. Okay. But what I get with you is that you may have been very quick, right? With the Knight of Swords, you may have been like, well, just do this or just do that, And the reason why your person wasn't like accepting help or receiving that well was because they weren't fully honest with you about the problem. Like they may have told you half of the problem and you were like, well, just do that. Just fix it. Right. And they're over here like, it's not that simple, because they're not telling you the whole thing, whole problem. And that could be why a part of you, like, or a part of the problem, or why they went quiet. Because I don't think you were the one that went quiet. I mean, you could have, but I don't know. I'm not getting that. You're very much showing up in the energy of, so here you are, right, with the Knight of Swords and the Otter. You still see a lot of happiness with this person. Okay, you still, like, you even show up with reciprocity. I want to have equal give and take. Excuse me. So you're looking at things with who this is in terms of partnership. And a number of you, I don't know, what I'm getting is you're like, well, we can fix this. We can sort this out. Okay. And for some reason, they're over here like, well, it's not that easy. It's not that simple. Okay. The other way you're showing up is inseparable. Our love is always there despite the distance. Okay. A number of you could be at a distance from who this is. Like I said, I'm getting like the Lone Star State. So Texas, or like sometimes a star, it does indicate distance. Okay. You're a long way away from the star. Getting a lot of Aquarius with that too. And yeah, see, you're showing up with damage. We are both hurting from this. And I feel like you genuinely love this person with the Otter. Okay. You're very much like presently, because Otter is very much about living in the present moment. You know, a number of you could be actively like sending this person messages. That's another thing I'm getting with this Knight of Swords. You really don't care. That's what I'm getting with some of you. You're like, I don't really care. If you're not talking to me, I'm just going to tell you, I'll tell you how I feel. Here's how I feel, yada, yada, yada. So yeah, a number of you, like, you're watching this and you already sent a message, but they're not responding. Okay. And it's just because they don't know how to respond to it. That's it. Maybe they feel like once they do respond, you're going to resent them for their response. Okay. So I'm getting that. Yeah, I don't know. I don't get that you're the holdup here, Aries. I think that it's more so your person over here. And it's because they don't know how to explain something to you. Okay. Yeah, and a number of you contacted them after a while. So that's why they do show up with reunion. So like you've already said something to them. So they're like, okay, so Aries is back. Now what do I say? What do I say to Aries? So they're kind of caught up in that. I'm going to continue this over on your extended, and we're going to look at, do I see, this person taking action? Okay. For some of you, maybe no contact hasn't been broken yet. So we'll get into that. Okay. The outcome for you two, timeline of forward movement. And we're definitely going to pull advice for each of you. So Aries, if this resonates, then, and you want to continue watching, just click the link below in the description, top of the comments, and we'll continue your reading. If this is where we part ways, love you all. Good luck with everything. I'll see you next time. Peace.